Good morning, George Peabody School. Introducing our Komochi feeling of the week. Actually, it's impatient. I haven't been feeling very patient lately. I wanted to talk to you about impatience because it might be something you're struggling with too. You know that feeling when you're feeling hurried and rushed, and you might sound a little bit more like this one, using that fighting tone of voice instead of a talking tone of voice. Have you ever heard that phrase, I'm losing my patience? Where does it go? Lately, mine just kind of disappears. My son said to me the other day, when we were talking about my impatient voice, he said, Mom, it sounds like you're mad, even though I know you're not mad at me. How did he know that? Probably because he was just coming in to ask for some help with his schoolwork, and he knows he didn't do anything wrong. But I was in the middle of something. I was on a work call. So I sounded impatient. I sounded hurried and rushed. So you may have felt like this too, or is it just the grown-ups? I think we've all been there, right? Maybe you have felt impatient when you are trying to explain the rules of a game to a sibling or a friend and they don't quite get it as quickly as you want them to. Maybe you have felt impatient during a haircut trim or when a grown-up is trying to clean up a scrape and you just want it to get over with. Maybe you felt impatient when you're really hungry and you want dinner to be ready right away. Maybe you felt impatient when the Zoom call just isn't happening quickly enough and you're waiting to get into the Zoom room. Sorry, room 5. Sorry about today. So, what can we do? What can we do when we're feeling impatient? Well, one thing we can try is square breathing. I know grown-ups talk about breathing a lot, but it helps. So let's quickly try one round of square breathing. We call it square breathing because you want to imagine a square. And the way we do this is we breathe in for 5, we hold for 5, we breathe out for 5, and we hold for 5. So I want you to imagine the square while I count on my fingers. Ready? Let's give it a try. Breathe in and hold. Now breathe out. And hold. Now, depending on how impatient you're feeling, you may need a few rounds. If you do this a few times a day, it can really ground you, really calm you down. And when we calm ourselves down and ground ourselves, and we can actually have a better response and a more responsible response to frustration and interruptions. Isn't that nice to know? So when we can figure that out and take a little bit more control over our environment, especially right now when we're all living on top of each other, it's a really nice way to handle some of our impatience. Another thing we can try is something that we tried today. As I mentioned earlier, my son sometimes comes in because he needs help with his work, but I'm on work calls. We're all trying to work and do schoolwork at home all together. And he comes in, but I'm on a work call and I might sound impatient. So we read a story together about a group of mice, and I'm going to link to that story in Friday's newsletter. So you'll hear all about it and learn about it. But in the story, the mom and the son come up with this idea of using a traffic light to signal when the mom is available to talk with and work with her child during the day when she's working. And red means, I can't talk right now, I'm working. Yellow means, come on in, but be quiet until I can talk with you. And then green means, come on in. I should say that red also means, don't come in, I'm working, but unless it's an emergency, of course. So we tried it today, and I'm going to show it to you. Whoops, sorry, puppy. My dog was laying there. Here's our traffic light. It's on red since I'm making this video. And I've got my green here, and I've got my yellow here, and I've just been changing it throughout the day. I have to admit, my son told me it worked, but he really didn't like when it was on red. He liked it much better when it was on yellow and green. So you're going to lose your patience sometimes, right? But hopefully you're a second chance family. In second chance families, we get to have redos. We get to ask for forgiveness, and we get to say, wow, I kind of messed up and I was impatient. Can I try again? And if it's your second chance family, the people in your family are going to say, I get it. So hopefully if you try the traffic light, you'll let me know how it goes. I loved hearing from all the folks out there who tried the gratitude wall or making a list of things that they were grateful for. The kids during my classes this week and families who were trying the gratitude wall. So if you try the traffic light, let me know how it works. And I'm wishing you so much patience this next week. We all need it, and we all need second chances. And from my home to yours, I'll see you next week.